My first price target for Moonriver's native cryptocurrency called MOVR in 2025 is MOVR at the price of $400. And of course, this isn't financial advice or guarantee, but why do I think so? I think it's going to come down to the fact that Moonriver has an amazing use case. Moonriver is an Ethereum-compatible blockchain environment on the Kusama network. Moonriver is intended to operate on Kusama as a paired chain, which as a result, of course, helps, projects reach new users and markets through a multi-chain approach. Now, this sounds very fancy, but when you really think about it, Moonriver, it's quite essentially a canary network to Moonbeam. Now, when we take a look at Moonbeam is on Polkadot, and if you take a look at Kusama, which Moonriver is on, it's also quite essentially a canary network to Polkadot as well. So you get the association, right? But besides that point, the new code will typically ship over to Moonriver first, and after it's been quite essentially tested and verified under real economic conditions, it will then be usually shipped over to Moonbeam. And keep in mind, it's even been stated how Moonriver is home to the most active decentralized finance ecosystem on Kusama, which I think is very impressive. Caray, boha! And also on top of that, it even supports ERC721 NFT bridging with Ethereum, which of course is fantastic. And also on top of that, it's home to the most active ecosystem of projects on Kusama too. So the way I view it is that Moonriver, it's packed with amazing features, plays a very important role, and overall, it's just a very fantastic project. When I take that into consideration, I don't see why its native cryptocurrency called MOVR won't hypothetically go to the price of $400 during the peak of this bull run. And now my second price target for MOVR is MOVR at the price of $500, which isn't crazy in my opinion, because when you take a look at Moonriver, on its ecosystem, we will find many amazing decentralized finance and as well as NFT projects. Now, some people, they may think, wow, these two markets, they don't look that hot, compared to 2021. Now, here's the thing. A lot of the hype has kind of left, but I think that better days are still ahead because according to Grandview Research, right, they do predict that individually, each the NFT and decentralized finance market, they're both expected to have each a valuation of $200 billion. So yeah, that's very insane. Again, NFT market expected to be worth over $200 billion. DeFi market expected to be worth over $200 billion. DeFi stands for decentralized finance by 2030, which is just 6 years away at this point. So yeah, these two markets clearly have a lot of potential. People oftentimes say that NFTs, decentralized finance, it's done for, but when you consider how revolutionary these markets are, I think it really isn't over, right? I think, yeah, sure, we're having a downturn in a sense, but I think better days are still ahead. It's much like in real life, right? There's a very famous saying in Portuguese, and that is jamais desistir, and that means never give up. And I think that these two markets, they perfectly embody this. They're not giving up, and I think the better days are still coming. Much like in real life, if we're sad, if we're down, if we're depressed, what do we have to do? We have to make a massive comeback. That's what she said, and prove a lot of those haters wrong, and ultimately prove ourselves right, because our comeback always has to be greater than our setback, in my opinion. So when I consider just how amazing and the potential in which the DeFi and NFT market has, and when I consider how Moonriver has amazing projects on its ecosystem that are related to NFTs and DeFi, I don't see why MOVR during the peak of this bull run won't hypothetically go to the price of $500. And now, my most bullish case price target for MOVR is $700, which I'm standing by because if you've been watching my Moonriver videos in the past, you'll know that $700 is my most bullish case price target scenario. And why is that? It's because on top of the amazing fundamentals and qualities that I just mentioned earlier in the video about Moonriver, there is an added bonus, and that is the fact that this altcoin season could be legendary. Nearly 600 million crypto owners as of right now, more than ever before in history, and this is according to Crypto.com research, by the way. I'm not just making up some random numbers, and it's not coming from some random dude in their mom's basement eating Cheetos, Doritos, and Papa John's pizza. That's not the case. Also, more institutional investors as of right now, more enterprise adoption than ever before as of right now as well. So when you take all those factors into consideration, just imagine how big this altcoin season could be. Keep in mind, right, during the peak of the 2021 bull run, only around 300 million crypto owners. So now we have nearly double that amount, again, right, nearly 600 million. Can you imagine the hype, the FOMO, the buying pressure that could happen during the peak of this bull run? It could look insane. I mean, it could look legendary, Caray, poha. So when I take that into consideration, and again, when I consider just how amazing Moonriver is, I don't see why in the most bullish case scenario, MOVR won't hypothetically go to the price of $700. Again, of course, during the peak of this bull run. And my buying strategy is and always will be dollar cost averaging. So anytime I do earn income, I set aside some for my favorite projects. I just keep accumulating, I hold, and I just wait for the peak of the bull run. That's it. No day trading, no using leverage, no swing trading, none of that. I would like to keep things simple. I just acquire, I hold, and I just wait. Now, as to how soon the peak of the bull run will happen, usually, altcoins, they do typically reach their peak anywhere between 6 to 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. Now, the Bitcoin halving event did happen last month. So, again, right, either 6 to 18 months from last month is the range historically in which altcoins could very well reach their peak. However, 18 months is, of course, a very extreme example. 6 months is also very extreme. But even if we take a middle ground approach, that's still potentially, historically speaking, that would be April of 2025. So yeah, there's still potentially a year around from right now. Now, is this a bad thing? No, because again, I do dollar cost average because that is a strategy that I always use. And that's a way for me to stay in the game long term, right? If I'm day trading every day, trying to use leverage, could end up, blowing my fuse up, so to speak, right? All I do is that, again, anytime I earn income, I keep accumulating, I hold, and I just wait. And keep in mind, a lot of people, when it comes to cryptocurrencies in general, they've been waiting since 2021, at least a lot of my viewers. So if you think about that, is waiting potentially just another year? Is that too long? If they've been through, right? 2021, 2022, 2023, right? 2024, of course, right now. Would it make sense to quit near the finish line? At least that's the way I view it. Of course, not a financial advisor, not trying to tell anyone what to do, but personally, that's just the way I view it. I'm going to stick this one through. I'm going to stay patient. I'm going to keep dollar cost averaging because if MOVR were to go to the price of $700 during the peak of this bull run, wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I think it's that amazing, and I think this bull run could be that impressive. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. And also on top of that, make sure to check out this very fantastic video. I think you all would really love it. It's Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.